I love you.
The baby. Message deleted at 1:19 a.m. I didn't realize my world would be shattered in no time. Me and my brother had an argument and stopped talking. At 1:19 a.m., my brother sends me a message, and out of anger, I read the message, I don't reply back, and I delete it. At 4:30 a.m. in the morning, my mother receives a call that my brother is hospitalized. Guilt starts hitting me. I really wish I could have messaged. I really wish I could have called and maybe things could have been different. I still remember I was in my 8th month of pregnancy when the news broke. Me and my family were completely shattered. I had to handle myself and the baby, which looked impossible. My entire world stopped because my brother was my world. At that point of time, I lost a piece of myself. Me and my brother were best friends. We were Tom and Jerry. We were always fighting when we were together. During the times we were apart, we used to miss each other so much. During our schooling days, my brother wanted to join in a boarding school, and I just went to accompany him for a school visit. But to everyone's surprise, I enrolled myself in the same school. The world was new to me. It was more of a culture shock, but I was just there to spend time with my brother. To be frank, I had no idea about the curriculum and have enrolled myself. There's so many parents out here who enroll their kids in a particular school without knowing the curriculum. At that point of time, a child's future is at stake. Let me take you back to my 3rd grade. When I was in 3rd grade, I had an appendicitis surgery. Post-surgery, I have put on a lot of weight. I was dark. I looked ugly. People started commenting I looked like a boy. Every time I looked in the mirror, I asked myself, why was I born this ugly? And out of anger, I tore all my childhood pictures. One day, I came home for lunch. And I was casually sitting on the sofa, watching TV and having lots of food. My plate only had rice, rasam, dal, curd rice, chicken 65, biryani, plain cake. It was not a Maharaja, but a Maharani thali. My parents were casually observing me from far off. And in a loud tone, my mother said, Bakasulla tintu now. That means I'm eating like a bakasur. That incident really triggered me, but I felt no matter what I do, I will never be able to lose weight. At that point of time, I once again lost a piece of myself. I always wanted to voice out my opinion, but I was confused whether I should or not. During my childhood days, my father used to conduct family meetings. And in one of the family meetings, I was given the topic called family. I had to talk about it for 1 minute. And you know what? There were just 4 people in the room. Every time I wanted to speak out, there was some voice inside me which said, you can't speak up. I was very embarrassed that day because my brother and sister were fluent in speaking. Back in India, my father is the founder of a huge chain of educational institutions. And naturally, he'll have expectations on his children as future leaders. But me on the other side had this timid personality. My world looked dark. I wanted some light. There was some hope which went unnoticed. Shivering, trembling, fumbling were a part of my life. My heart and mind were in continuous fight. Body shaming and not able to voice out my opinion were like a shadow that haunted me for nearly 25 years of my life. But finally, I'm here today on this prestigious platform. Unbelievable, right? Yes, I made it. If you observe, each and every object tells us a life lesson. If we can take the most out of it, our life is sorted. One practical example I could relate to is water. Pour water in a vessel, it will take the form of a vessel. Defreeze it, it will mold into the same shape. Let go of things you cannot control. Incredible things will happen to you when you take power on the things you can control instead leaving the things you can't. I have recently been to Vaishnavi's place. Vaishnavi is a 2021 graduate and she has secured All India 143 rank. Vaishnavi always wanted to study BPC, but her parents were very inclined, making sure Vaishnavi takes up MPC and becomes an engineer because of the financial constraint they had. Since Vaishnavi was a merit student, she had a very clear mindset. She told her parents, "My education and expenses will not be a burden." Vaishnavi is just one student among such students I interact with. My students give me the strength. They keep me rooted, driven, and passionate. I learn and unlearn so many things. Common problems are body shaming, not able to voice out your opinion, stage fright, society issues. Since I have faced most of them, I wanted to be there and empower my students. Losing my brother has changed everything. The thought of my days beginning and ending without him was scary. Every time these thoughts crossed my mind, I had a strong sensation in my womb. And Aryan gave me a sense of his existence in my life. I had to take care of the little life inside me. What about my parents? The thought of my parents losing their son was bigger than my grief. My house was occupied with friends and family most of the time because they wanted to spend time with Aryan. As I was a new mother, I started exploring more about motherhood. I had to make a choice. Should I think about my brother's death and let my life shrink? Or should I accept it and move on? The best way to make my brother happy was to live a happy life seeing my brother in Aryan. There's no doubt that losing my brother has changed everything. But I had no other option than to get back stronger. At that point of time, I found a piece of myself. Let me tell you my process of attaining the right weight. Do you like to lose money? A phone? We don't like to lose anything, not even a game of Ludo. But on the other hand, we keep telling ourselves, I need to lose weight. Isn't it a contradiction? The first thing I did is to change my internal language. The first affirmation I told was, I am attaining a weight of X kilos. You can't wake up every morning with two parts fighting in your head. One saying, let me get up and go for a run. Second saying, nah, let me hit the snooze button and go back to sleep. Eating right, fasting right, working out right should become autopilot activities. The second thing I did was to change my relationship with food. Why do I eat? I asked myself. Recreation, stress buster, mood changer. Food has so many anchors, but I found non-substitutes to all of them. Since I was very clear on why do I want to eat, the only purpose for me to eat is to nourish my mind and body. Following a diet plan became easier the day I connected to only meaning to eating. Now visualize a weighing scale. Visualize your desired weight on the weighing scale. As you step your feet on the weighing scale, you're super happy, super excited. There is a lot of positive rush in your body. Visualize this every single day. Now, every time you look at the mirror, you see a toned version of you. You see a fit version of you fitting in the right clothes. You're super happy and you're ready to take on the next goal of life. Visualize this every single day. Place small placards of your weight everywhere. In your room, in your washroom, in the office, and connect your everyday actions to these visuals. Words have the power to change life. Words can either break or make people's relationships. Not being able to express myself was my biggest problem. And every time I tried voicing out my opinion, I felt miserable. I felt left out. I felt lonely. Let me take you back to one incident after my post-graduation. After my post-graduation, I had to head the family business. I had to conduct a meeting with 100 people. Most of them were there right from the inception. Two gentlemen argued, and I had to control it. But I couldn't. I felt useless. I felt helpless. I went back home, and my father asked me, "What kind of leader are you? You couldn't control one single meeting. What kind of respect will people show you?" Those words really triggered me. And I told myself, I should not end up like a failure. My journey towards self-realization has started. I started doing a lot of positive affirmations and self-reflections. By now, I have identified my strengths and weaknesses, and I started working on my weaknesses. I started developing a lot of knowledge professionally. Once you have the right kind of knowledge, you will be able to voice out your opinion. Thanks to my failures and setbacks, they made me a better person. And today I'm here sharing my story of losing my brother who was my best friend. Sharing my story of stage fright. Sharing my story of body shaming and not able to voice out my opinion. Anything is possible if you have the desired mindset and attitude. Once upon a time, in a beautiful garden, there were two seeds nested in a rich, welcoming soil. The two seeds were friends. They were always chatting as they continued to grow. One seed was excited. The seed said, "I want to grow tall and strong. I want my roots to dive deep into the earth's surface and flaunt my leaves. I want to feel the sun's warmth." And you know what? The seed flourished just as it expected. The second seed had a lot of fear. What if I face darkness underground? What if the hard soil above hurts me? What if a curious child plucks my bud? What if a hungry snail eats me up? The seed had n number of negative thoughts. The seed waited for the right moment to come. But the moment never arrived. One day, a hungry hen stumbled upon the waiting seed and swallowed it without a second thought. While one seed thrived, the other seed vanished without even knowing its growth. It's not about having big dreams. It's not about desperately wanting to achieve your goals, but it's about taking the leap of faith. It's about getting out of those cozy comfort zones and embracing your fears. You will have setbacks. You will have failures. It's just a matter of time. If you're determined, I'm sure you will achieve your goal in no time. This is my story of how setbacks helped me identify my strengths. Thank you.